The DCCT was a milestone study that set out to prove if diabetics keep their blood glucose closer to the normal range, it should slow the development of complications of diabetes. Okay, yeah, but for some reason I have a sneaking suspicion that the whole controlling blood glucose, ever since then, before even the establishment of the DCCT, was, yeah, you have to control your blood sugars. And people do the best job they can. And we're gifted with new tools nowadays to try and keep it closer to normal, which it has achieved the goal. We've got insulin pumps. I really don't want to tout the analogs all that much because I still have a very deep difficulty accepting something so unnatural to try and do something so inorganically. Case in point, $700 billion. I will say no more, but let's say for 10 years things were going on that were very inorganic and rubbed the grain of how the natural, organic mortgages and loans should have been established. That's it. That's all I'm going to say. Let's see if we can get out of this mess. Point being, the DCCT had a very myopic view of just blood glucose in order to prevent the faster development of complications. Yes, very true, but what the DCCT also should have focused on was perhaps a way to stop these complications altogether. And, there are things, statistically speaking, I really don't believe that there is a, resounding reduction in the amount of complications that people live with and experience throughout diabetes anyhow. 10 years is pretty much the cutoff mark. Once you've had diabetes 10 years, you go to a retinologist, you go to have your kidneys checked, you go to have, well, you probably don't see the neurologist for quite some time until you start getting other crazy things happening, but, let's just say they do happen, okay? All of these things happen. And they happen because there is a deficit in both type 1s and type 2s. And I'm going to get to that next time. But my point here is this intensive control group that they followed up on after the DCCT, it's funny that the gap closed. The whatever they call the conventional control and the intensive control, their A1Cs, the differences were like 8.2 and 7.9, and those are the intensive guys, the guys wearing the crowns like they just came from Burger King or something. I mean, let's be realistic, people. There's more to diabetes than glucose control, and the fact is that it's just the most profitable aspect to focus on. And unfortunately, the only profound results out of the DCCT and the you must control your blood sugar mantra is that there's been an increase in death toll from hypoglycemic unawareness. There's an increase in car accidents from people that have overtreated and they couldn't control their vehicles. This is scary, and this doesn't need to be happening. But I'm not going to end on that note. What I will say is there's an answer to this, and you have to start looking in other directions instead of just focusing on that one thing you've been chasing all along in order to solve the problems that continue to exist. My problem with diabetes is the complications, and I don't want that to be everybody's problem with diabetes, because diabetes almost just sort of seems like it's one of those things, like a virus. It nestles into your body and it's there. There's no cure yet. JDRF, ADA, you guys are going strong, collecting money. But you know what? It's the education, and it's the awareness, and it's looking at other avenues to help make this world safer, as long as we have to reside with diabetes in it. So everybody, I hope you subscribe at alliesvoice.com, or just check back on YouTube, and I'll bring the answer to what I truly believe that deficit is that exists in the body. And there's a lot of truth to restoring that deficit in order to prevent and reverse existing complications of diabetes. I'll see you next time.